Alrighty, it's time for Master Lunar. Starting things off with Shark Attack. They've been playing super well. Not sure how they're winning games. This roster just doesn't look like a championship roster to me. But they've been playing great. I'm going to give them an A. They're at the top of Lunar right now. Next up is the Shadows. J-Spiel was put on IR. Picked up Reverse Frizz. I think he's an okay fourth. Thermal's been playing super well. 30 and 18 right now. They're sitting at second in Lunar. I believe, yes, they're sitting at second in Lunar. I'm going to give them an A minus. Moving on to 50-50 Pizzeria. Another team that, when I see their record, I don't think it should be as good. They're currently 2 games out of playoffs. Lunar is insane right now. There are so many teams that can fight for a playoff spot, even Immortals. So it's really a toss-up between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams on who will make playoffs. I'm going to give them a C+. They may sneak into playoffs. If they do, don't think they're going to get very far, but I think that they will not be very good. Moving on to the Elements. I gave them a D+. This team was not good on paper. Panzer has played great. I gave them a C+. I'm going to keep him at a C+. This is another team that can sneak into a playoff spot. They have one right now in a 3-way tie with Blackout and Mercury. It depends on the rest of their schedule. I'm not too sure on who they play to end the season, but this is a team that may surprise some other teams near the end of the season and sneak into the playoffs. Next up is Sovereign. They've disappointed all season. They dropped Alo, they picked up Scoot. I'm going to give them a C minus. There's a chance they get in the playoffs. They're going to have to make some big adjustments for them to be able to sneak in. Next up is Abyss. 25 and 23 right now. Have a playoff spot in Lunar. I'm going to give them a B minus. I think this team is okay. Just another team in Lunar that I didn't have high hopes on, have performed well, and have kept themselves in the playoff race and have given themselves a spot. 8-Bit Brigade. I think Matutu is the hard carry of this team. 22 and 26 right now. They're sitting just outside of a playoff spot. I'm going to give them a C. May sneak into playoffs. In all honesty, it depends on how Matutu performs. Next up is Milky Way. They dropped Blob of God, picked up 0. Sitting right outside of a playoff spot, I believe. Yeah. Again, not too sure on if they're gonna make playoffs. It's really just a toss up right now in Lunar. But if 15 gets into playoffs, they could be a sneaky team that can upset one of the higher seeds like Shark Attack. Next up is Serpents, keeping them at an F. Worst team, one of the worst teams in Premier or Masters. Sorry. Picked up Plethros. He's played well for them. His record doesn't show it, but he's been doing his thing. Polar Vortex is next. Give them a C+. I'm going to move them up to a B. They've given themselves a better chance at a playoff spot. Like I said, anything can happen right now. I really think only these top 3 teams are safe, which leaves 4 playoff spots open. If this team can play defense, they will be so good. They just need to play defense. Next up is Electric Mayhem, sitting at 24 and 24. I'm going to give them a B as well. Vanilla Rain has played great. Unexpected has played well. Picasso's been a great third. I see this team being a playoff team. Once again, depends on their schedule. But it all depends. You know, who's going to have an off night, who's going to have an on night, who's going to go on a run in these last 4 match days. Next up is Bear Den. I'm going to give them an A minus. Omeon is super good, and I think Lunoso and V15 complement him very well. This team may not look the best on paper, but it is definitely a scary team to be on the lookout for. Planet of the Apes, they have been disappointing me all season. I thought Gaherp and Stumpy were going to be great together. I'm going to give them a C+. I'm assuming they haven't figured out their third man situation with Ash and Classy. Just don't have a strong person to help out with Gaherp and Stumpy if one of them has an off night. And lastly, the team I've been giving an F all season long, the Comic Crusaders. After making moves to pick up Prada, who was Lyrics at the beginning of the season, and Python, and Blob, Heavy Almost been making changes to the entire roster. I don't think it's going to matter at this point in the season. Even if they sweep for the rest of the season, I don't think they even make playoffs. So, right now, even though Shark Attack is running away with Lunar, I don't see them being a favorite. I think Shadows are super scary. If Sovereign sneaks into the playoffs, they could go on a run. If Pool Vortex or Electric Mayhem go on a run, there's so many teams that can compete in Lunar this season. I think playoffs are going to be great. These last 4 match days are going to be great to watch. Now on to Master Solar. Have a good one.